Hey everybody, Tara Green here, and it is August the 30th. I'm going to talk about this rare super blue moon in Pisces. The reason I'm coming on here live this morning is because I've tried to film it 4 times and I'm frustrated. And of course, you know, Mercury is retrograde, Venus is retrograde, everything's retrograde. So it's par for the course, you know, so I'm frustrated, but I figured if I go live, it's the best thing. So this big rare supermoon, of course, it hasn't happened since 2009, probably before some of you were born even. It won't happen again for another till 2032. So we want to take advantage of it, right? And we want to strike while the iron is hot. So Pisces, let's talk about the quality of Pisces. So Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's associated with the 12th house, with the 12th sign. It is the sign of endings. It's completion. It is the sign of spirit. It's the sign of the soul. So it is where the soul goes back to where it came, to the source. And Pisces all remember that they came from the source. They came from soul. And so they feel already connected to everyone and everything. So for Pisces, the world is quite overwhelming because they're so psychic and so sensitive, so creative, such big chameleons. And we get to partake in all of that beautiful Piscean energy today as it comes to a completion, and work with it. Now, the planet Saturn, the planet of karma, limitations, obstacles, testing, maturity. Saturn is the cosmic taxman. Yes, you can play Taxman by the Beatles. It's going to be very close to the moon, and you will actually see it. If it's clear outside, you will see Saturn sitting close to the moon. It'll look like a non-blinking star. So Saturn conjunct the moon. Saturn is the reality principle in general, but it's in the sign of unreality. Saturn is concrete reality, and it is karmic, okay? And then there's the moon, our moods, the unconscious, the collective unconscious, the wombs, the stomach, the children, the home, our emotional security needs. We want to go back to spirit. We want to connect with the essence of our souls. And so we want to remember, because we haven't really forgotten, that we are really eternal souls temporarily experiencing this Saturnine physical reality. And we don't want to get caught in that reality too much. You know, Saturn is Satan, it's the devil, right? So you sell your soul to the devil. You don't want to do that. So Pisces is also the sign of compassion. Jesus Christ is the age of Pisces began at Christ's birth. That's actually what the whole story of Christ is all about. It really signifies it's the beginning of the age of Pisces. Well, there's some interesting light effects coming in here too. As I'm doing this, I'm actually seeing orbs coming in. I'm not doing anything, but it's coming in. So here you can see the energy coming in here. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Pisces is also the sign of addictions. It is the sign of illusions, of delusions. It is the sign of artists. All artists channel through Pisces, you would say, in an astrological term. It is the sign of martyrs, like Christ. It is the sign of guilt. Okay, it's also the sign of charity, of compassion, of giving, forgiveness, all of that. Lots of water, endings. It is the sign of jails and mental illness as well. Pisces also rules Hollywood, glamour, fake news. It rules the oil industry. So it rules a lot of things. So Saturn conjunct the moon is saying this is an end. This is a completion to the illusions, the delusions, the fake news, all of that stuff that we bought into. And we need to collectively, really come to a completion here and say, you know what, we take responsibility for creating all of our own toxic relationships, even though, it's part of the human condition. If we've been hurt, if we've been wounded, that's part of the human condition. We want to take responsibility for that so we can heal ourselves now, personally and collectively. Pisces wants to save the world. They root for the underdog. It's really beautiful. But, all we can do is heal ourselves. And the only person who can really do it is us. Nobody can do it for us. So we can have helpers. We can have people who assist us, counselors, psychics, but we ultimately have to take responsibility for our own healing. So this is the time to do it now. Okay, this is the time to do it now. Thank you, people, for helping me meet my goal there. I'm a bit new at this, I have to say. I'm a bit of a Luddite here, but thank you so much. So I'm very passionate about this. I'm a professional astrologer for 30 years. Now, if you also have planets at 7 degrees of Pisces, which is exactly where the moon is, or at 7 degrees of Virgo. So if you were born 1 week into Virgo, 1 week into Pisces, or 1 week into Sagittarius, 1 week into Gemini, you're going to be more strongly affected by this full moon, okay? Or if you have any planets in that range. So we want to collectively come together. Now, our psychic energy could be off the walls because Pisces is all about being super psychic, being a big psychic sponge. So, you may have to set up some proper healthy boundaries, and that's where Saturn comes in. Saturn is our big friend here. So Saturn will help you to stay grounded, although Saturn in Pisces, it's real, but it's not real. This is the whole thing. This is a big dream. This is a big dream. We're only eternal souls. Here is my eternal soul. I remember this since I first came in here, being conscious that, we're all part of the big cosmic dimensions, the big yoniverse, and we're here and having a temporary physical experience. That's Saturn. Now, the planet Jupiter, at 15 degrees of Taurus, in the middle degree of Taurus, is the ruler, the ruler of the sign of Pisces traditionally. So Jupiter in Taurus is very sensual. It's grounded, it's stubborn, it's stable. We need that groundedness. We need to go, I really love being in the earth realm. This is the Garden of Eden. This is paradise. I want to enjoy it. So bringing in that kind of physical reality will help us to ground. Okay, now, it is time to go to rehab. It is time to face our demons, our shadows. It is time to face the collective demons and the shadows. And again, it's through doing our own healing that we can help to heal the collective. Okay, so Jupiter is stationary in the sky right now. Jupiter is actually going to start to turn retrograde on the 4th. And Venus is stationary also in the sky. That means she's barely moving. We all know Venus has been retrograde for the last 39, 40 days. And she is going to stop and turn direct on the 3rd. So when these planets are what's called stationary, they're really powerful. Again, we get that sense of, they're not moving. We can hang on to them. We can hang on to Venus and Leo that rules the heart chakra. It's the courage and the daring and the strength, and the creativity and the willpower. We want to do this. We want to will our dreams awake. Now, Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. It is in a positive aspect to Pluto, the ruler of the soul, the underworld, and it's in between Uranus, the planet of radical change. So okay, I just turned that off. Hold on a second. All right, I think we're still going here. I hope we're still going here. All right. So I want to mention one more thing. It would be really important for you to do a big water ritual, to be by water. If you could be by flowing water, the better, a lake, a river, or even a bath or a shower, to really help yourself get in touch with the feelings of all of the old toxic relationships and your own wounds, and come with compassion. Pisces is the sign of compassion, ultimately compassion for ourselves as humans, as wounded children, and from the perspective of unconditional love, and to really let it go. Okay, now Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. It's a sign of the perfectionist. So for those who are in your heads a lot, it might be good for you to write things down, to keep a list. That's what satisfies Virgos. And Mars, the planet of action, is at 2 degrees of Libra, which is conjunct something called the supergalactic center, which is an incredibly healing place. Like if you want to do like major soul retrievals, like this is what I'm proposing here, that we use this energy for, use Mars on the supergalactic center. It's a space anomaly. They don't even know what it was. It is that attracts all of the galaxies to it. Cosmic astrologer Philip Sedgwick writes about this on his website. I've written a big long article about this on my blog. He talks about using this to, you would call it time jumping or dimension jumping, or in quantum physics, it's like going into, a future reality and shape-shifting, time warping, really doing the time warp to go into the future where all of this is healed and then coming back, because really time is an illusion. That's Saturn and Pisces. Time is an illusion. It doesn't really exist. So none of this exists. So I am, we're all here having this holographic experience. When I've had actual kind of enlightenment moments, I remember having this sense that this is all just a big hologram. It's just a big projection. It's just our soul, learning, going through experiences, trying things on. And that's wonderful. And it's all good from the soul's perspective. So ultimately, they say that you've never been born and therefore you will never die. So remembering our infinite selves, my old one of my old spiritual teachers, Stuart Wilde, wrote a book called The Infinite Self way back in the 80s, actually. So remembering our infinite selves, remember that we can shapeshift any reality right now. But it's up to us to kind of really go through the motions, go through the emotions, and to work our way through it and to say, we want to dream a new collective dream here, and we can do that. Now, the other thing I thought was interesting, there was something called the Sabian symbols for each degree in the zodiac, and for the moon, which is being, the big supermoon, it is at 8 degrees of Pisces. We always go up a degree. So the symbol, the Sabian symbol for 8 degrees of Pisces is a girl blowing a trumpet. And I thought about this, and I thought it's kind of what they call a clarion call. And I thought, well, a bugle, actually it's a girl blowing a bugle, but I transposed trumpet because I went, oh, a girl blowing a bugle is like the Archangel Gabriel blowing a trumpet, which is the symbol of Judgment Day. Now, speaking of the Archangel Gabriel is marked by a star in the sky, as are all the other 3 archangels. Archangel Gabriel's spot is at 3 degrees of Pisces, and that's exactly where Saturn is. So Saturn is like making this pinpoint. I'm holding down the placard for the Archangel Gabriel. So literally the symbol is Archangel Gabriel's blowing the trumpet for Judgment Day. Now, for those of you who are evangelists, you might think that this is definitely a sign. You can use that, for the symbol of trumpets or trumps, like in the tarot cards, the major arcana, the trumps, are also named for that. Trumpet, it means triumph, and of course, you know who named Trump, which I'm not going to go into right now, but it's just another illusion, that's all. So, yes, we have to release our own judgments. We have to be compassionate. We have to forgive ourselves. So tonight, the full moon is exactly full at 6:36 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and then on the 31st, 4 hours after 9:36 p.m., 1:36 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So I want to wish you all the best blessings. Also, really, really, really pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are going to be very, very powerful over the next few days. It's a great time to meditate. It's a great time to be the fly on the wall. Also, again, releasing those old relationships. People have had breakups. It's time to say, I need to learn my karmic lesson. I need to let it go so I can make a brand new beginning. So I want to wish you all the best blessings. And if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at taratarot.com. Okay, sending you all the best. All right.